Hey, space explorers.
Beyond the stars. On a lonely space station at the edge of Galaxy 327, Elara, a dedicated astrobiologist, spent her life immersed in research. Thousands of light years away from Earth, they orbited an uncharted planet. The station was silent. The radios carried only the hum of deep space. One day, while analyzing data in her lab, Elara noticed an abnormal energy surge on the planet's surface. According to her observations, the energy was neither natural nor random. It had to be the sign of an intelligence. Yet the station's command dismissed it. Just an atmospheric storm, they said. But Elara knew better. This was only the beginning. At night, staring at the stars with sleepless eyes, a creeping sense of unease filled her. She wasn't alone on that planet. Something or someone was there. One morning, the station's alarms blared. Elara rushed to the control room and stared at the screen in horror. Energy waves from the planet were heading straight for the station's core. Risking her life, Elara decided to manually stabilize the energy core. Systems trembled, the radio went silent, and she heard a whisper, almost like the station itself was speaking. "You've found us. There's no turning back." Alone on the station, Elara faced an impossible choice: take the risk to return to Earth or sacrifice herself to uncover the unknown. That night, she gazed at the planet from orbit. Its surface glowed, as if calling her. And in that moment, she understood. Humanity was not yet ready to know what lay beyond the stars. But she was. As Elara took her first step into the unknown, the silence of space swallowed her, and a single tear fell, a bittersweet symbol of both loss and discovery.
Beyond the Stars, Chapter 2. Elara descended through the planet's then shimmering atmosphere in a small exploration pod. The surface was unlike anything she had ever seen. Jagged, crystalline formations rose like towers, glowing faintly with the same energy that had threatened the station. The air shimmered, as if the planet itself was alive, breathing. As she stepped out of the pod, her boots sank slightly into the soft, translucent ground. The energy pulses beneath her felt almost sentient. Every step she took echoed with whispers, unintelligible but unmistakably aware of her presence. Her instruments went haywire, compasses spun, scanners overloaded. Then she saw it, a figure, or something like a figure, standing in the distance. It was not human, yet its posture seemed deliberate, almost curious. A voice, clearer this time, resonated in her mind. "Why have you come? You are not ready." Elara's heart raced, but a strange calm overcame her fear. She spoke out loud, though she wasn't sure the figure could hear her. "I need to understand. I need to know what you are." The figure stepped closer, and the ground beneath it pulsed with light. Suddenly, memories not her own surged into her mind, visions of civilizations rising and falling, stars being born and dying, and a warning that stretched across millennia. The planet itself was a living archive, guarding knowledge too dangerous for unprepared minds. A realization struck Elara like a meteor. The energy surge that had threatened the station wasn't an attack, it was a test. The planet had been calling, searching for someone capable of comprehension. But comprehension came at a price. Her pod's emergency signal beeped frantically, reminding her that Earth expected her return. Yet the knowledge in front of her could change everything humanity thought it knew about life, the universe, and their place in it. Elara faced the ultimate choice: leave with her life, returning to safety but forever ignorant, or embrace the unknown and become part of the planet's living memory, an eternal witness to secrets no human had ever been allowed to see. She took a deep breath, feeling the pulse of the planet under her feet. Then, with a steady hand, she stepped forward into the light. The last thing she felt before the world shifted around her was both awe and sorrow. A sense that she was leaving behind everything she had known, yet stepping into a destiny larger than any star she had ever gazed upon.
Elara, stepping into the heart of the planet, bathed in light, felt the world dissolve into a shimmering ocean of energy. Knowledge flowed into her mind, overwhelming and mesmerizing. Humanity was not alone. Civilizations rose and fell across galaxies. Stars were born and died, all recorded in this living archive. But the price was immense. Each new revelation strained her mind and soul. She saw wars, extinctions, the slow consumption of stars, truths too heavy for ordinary comprehension. Then, the conscious presence of the planet appeared once more, the figure now fully transformed into radiant light. Knowledge is power, but power carries burden. Humans lack patience and time. You, Elara, have passed the test, but is your world ready for what you have seen? Elara took a deep breath. Earth awaited her, but humanity might not survive the truth. Each star and energy pulse whispered secrets, yet their silence reminded her of her profound solitude. Finally, she made her choice. She would return, carrying the planet's knowledge, but knowing she must carefully decide what to reveal and what to withhold. As she boarded her pod, her gaze lingered on the stars. She was no longer just an explorer, she was a messenger, a bearer of wisdom and sorrow. Upon her return, she would face the impossible task of sharing discovery without shattering the world. And in the silent expanse of space, the stars seemed to shimmer ever so slightly, as if acknowledging Elara's journey, a voyage of wonder, of sacrifice, and of the weighty beauty of the unknown.
Beyond the Stars, Chapter 4. Elara's pod re-entered Earth's atmosphere, flames licking the exterior as it pierced the clouds. She landed in a secluded research facility, greeted by the stunned faces of scientists who had feared she was lost forever. But Elara was no longer the same person. They could see it in her eyes. She carried the weight of galaxies. They demanded answers. What did you find? What happened out there? Elara looked out the window at the blue planet below. For a moment, she felt the pull of the star she had just left, the living planet, the knowledge, the consciousness that had spoken to her. She realized some truths were too vast, too dangerous to fully reveal. I saw things, she said quietly, things we're not ready to understand. There are civilizations far older than ours, secrets about the universe that could change everything and destroy everything if misused. Her colleagues pressed for details, but Elara shook her head. She could give them glimpses, guidance, the hints necessary to advance science, but the full truth had to remain hidden. The burden of knowledge was hers alone. That night, alone in her lab, Elara activated the data she had collected. Crystalline structures, energy signatures, and strange algorithms filled the screens. Slowly, carefully, she began translating the wisdom into forms humans could comprehend without overwhelming them. Yet even as she worked, she felt a deep, unshakable loneliness. She had glimpsed the vastness of existence, the lives and deaths of countless civilizations, and returned to a world that could not yet fathom it. The stars beyond her window seemed smaller now. distant and patient, as if reminding her that humanity's time to understand had not yet come. Still, Elara smiled faintly, a tear sliding down her cheek. She had survived, and she had returned, not merely as a scientist, but as a guardian of cosmic truth. She had touched the infinite, and while the universe remained vast and unknowable, she had a purpose: to prepare humanity, carefully, one revelation at a time. And as she looked up at the night sky, the faintest shimmer of light, perhaps a signal from the living planet, seemed to wink back, a silent promise that the stars still held mysteries worth seeking, worth dreaming, and worth risking everything for.
Beyond the Stars, Chapter 5. The Weight of Knowledge. Weeks turned into months, and Elara's work became a secret obsession. Every night, while the world slept, she pored over the alien data, deciphering patterns of energy, life, and consciousness. She realized the living planet had left her more than memories. It had given her a blueprint for understanding the universe itself. Yet the burden was crushing. Humanity's thirst for discovery clashed with her need to protect them from truths they could not yet handle. Every revelation, every breakthrough reminded her of what she had left behind among the stars: the radiant figure, the sentient pulses of the planet, and the civilizations she had glimpsed in visions of time. One evening, she stood on a cliff overlooking the ocean, staring at the horizon where the sun met the sky. The weight of her secret pressed down, but the stars above shimmered in distant reassurance. She whispered to herself, "One day they will be ready, and I will be there to guide them." In the following years, Elara became a mentor to scientists, sharing fragments of cosmic wisdom in ways they could understand. She guided humanity's first deep space missions, subtly steering exploration away from catastrophic risks, while encouraging curiosity, imagination, and ambition. But sometimes, late at night, she still felt the pull of the unknown. A faint signal, a glimmer in the sky, or a whisper in the back of her mind reminded her the universe was alive, watching, waiting, and she was the bridge between two worlds. Elara had seen the infinite, carried its weight, and returned. And though humanity was not yet ready to comprehend the full truth, she knew one day they would look up at the stars and realize they were never alone, and that some secrets were always worth the risk. The stars, patient and eternal, seemed to promise her that the journey was only beginning. Beyond the Stars, Chapter 6. The Bridge Between Worlds. Years passed, and humanity began exploring deeper into space, guided subtly by Elara's insights. She became a revered figure, a mentor to astronauts, scientists, and explorers. Yet she remained haunted by the memories of the living planet. One evening, during a global conference on interstellar exploration, a young scientist approached her, eyes wide with excitement. "Dr. Elara, we detected a signal from the edge of the galaxy. It's unlike anything we've ever seen." Elara felt a chill. The planet. It was reaching out again. The energy was faint but unmistakable, a pulse calling her, or perhaps humanity. She realized the universe was not finished testing her species. She gathered a small, trusted team and shared selective insights, enough to prepare them, but not to overwhelm. Together they analyzed the signal, discovering that it was a form of communication, a pattern of energy, structured like a language. As they decoded fragments, Elara felt the old awe return. The planet's intelligence was reaching out, guiding humanity, challenging them, yet waiting to see if they were worthy. But with each revelation came the weight of responsibility. Political leaders demanded immediate action. Some wanted to exploit the knowledge, others feared it. Elara faced the same choice she had once faced alone in orbit: protect humanity from truths they weren't ready for, or risk exposing them to the vast, dangerous reality beyond the stars. Alone in her quarters that night, she looked at the sky,
The stars seemed closer, alive, waiting. She whispered softly, "I will guide you, but only if you're ready." And for the first time since her journey began, she understood her true purpose. She was not merely a scientist or explorer. She was humanity's bridge to the cosmos, the living archive walking among them, bearing knowledge that could inspire or destroy.
Beyond the Stars, Chapter 7, The Cosmic Bridge. The signal from the edge of the galaxy pulsed stronger now, undeniable even to untrained instruments. Humanity's first deep space expedition, guided by Elara's knowledge, prepared to venture where no one had gone before. Elara stood on the command deck, surrounded by her carefully chosen team. Every eye was on her, every mind full of questions. She spoke softly but firmly. "We are not just exploring space. We are stepping into a conversation with the universe itself. What we find may inspire us or break us. We must tread carefully." The journey was long and perilous. Stars streaked past as the ship approached the source of the signal. And then before them, the living planet revealed itself, not as a mere world, but as a radiant lattice of energy stretching across space, its presence both awe-inspiring and humbling. Elara felt the same connection she had decades ago, the whispers of civilizations, the pulse of knowledge, but now she shared it. Her team glimpsed fragments of truths about the universe, the rise and fall of cosmic empires, the life cycles of stars, and the threads of consciousness linking galaxies. Yet Elara also protected them, filtering knowledge so it would enlighten without overwhelming. She had become the ultimate bridge, the guardian of cosmic wisdom, guiding humanity safely through their first encounter with intelligence beyond their understanding. As they returned to Earth, their minds alight with possibilities, Elara looked out the viewport one last time. The stars, infinite and patient, seemed to bow in acknowledgement. She smiled, tears in her eyes. Humanity had taken its first real step into the wider universe, and she had given them hope, guidance, and the wisdom to survive it. Elara's journey had begun alone, in the silence of space, but it had ended not with isolation, but with a bridge between worlds, a legacy of discovery, courage, and the promise that one day humanity would finally understand the cosmos and their place within it. And somewhere, beyond the stars, the living planet pulsed once more, a quiet guardian watching over the explorers who had finally earned its trust.